Hello, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join me. If you're on this early, you are definitely watching the replay. So give me a hashtag replay. Let me know you were here. I do really appreciate the interaction. It just lets me know that the time and energy I'm putting into this is actually making some kind of difference and that some of you are showing up to see me. Let me introduce myself for those of you who are new. My name is Evelyn Knight. I am the founder and CEO of Childcare Business Professionals and the host of the Childcare Business Coach podcast. I'm also a childcare center owner who is getting ready to open a couple new centers myself. So that is what makes me different from other business consultants is I'm in the thick of it with you guys. I know what it's like to be an owner, a director, a teacher, van driver, cook. I've done it all. So I now help you learn the techniques and tools that I use to have successful childcare programs. And I'm also really just bring you these Monday sessions to help you focus on mindset because I understand the power of mindset. Mindset really makes all the difference in the world. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about the power of not living in your what ifs. And we'll really dive into that. But before I talk about that, well, let me give you guys a summary really quick, just to kind of help you understand what I'm referring to. If you're always afraid to take action because you live in the mindset of what if I make this decision and I lose money? What if people laugh at me? What if I fail? What if you're just always like, the COVID was a great example for us, right? On living in what ifs. What if we close down and go into quarantine? What if I can't reopen my business? What if I don't close down and we get so much COVID into our center, right? We allow what ifs to paralyze us. And that's what we're going to talk about today. It's not allowing the what ifs in life to paralyze us. But before I get into that, I do have to pitch my summit one more time. My conference is starting this Thursday. I could not be more excited. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, we still have virtual tickets available. We no longer have any live tickets, unfortunately. That is sold out and we are done with the live, but we do have spaces available on our virtual track. We did add a few for some of you guys. It is all recorded. So I understand, I know you work Monday through Friday, sitting through a conference all day Thursday and Friday may not be doable. So if you want to be a part of the conference, you do not have to watch it live. You can actually watch the recording. We also have a Facebook group set up just for the conference so you can still interact, get into the conversation, ask questions, and still be a part of that community, even if you can't attend live. So please make sure to sign up before it's too late. We are closing virtual registration on Wednesday. So back to the what ifs, and I am going to have to just jump back and forth. Last week, my computer took a bath. So, you know, my laptop, which has my brain, is basically got destroyed. I'm working on a new program. So everything's a little bit different for me. Around on my notes a little bit, so unfortunately I'll have to be looking down. But again, we're going to be talking about life's what ifs and how you think I'm so sorry if you guys lost me. If you guys would let me know in the comments if I'm popping in and out. I don't know. I think I lost my stream. I'm not sure if you guys were there the whole time, but the snow, it's not even that much snow, but apparently it is affecting my internet connection. So hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. I don't know, but I'm hoping you can. I'm actually going to text me and let me know if I am actually live or not. That would be awesome. So I know if you guys can actually see me. Oh, I'm back. Oh, you can hear me again. Sweet. So you guys did lose me for a minute. Okay, that's awesome. I'm sorry about that technology, right? New computer, I have to fit out with my new, this one's supposed to be so much better, but my old one never disconnected me. So we're going to talk about living in what ifs and really how to step in to the next better version of yourself. And I have to say, you guys, as I was going through this and I was really studying up on this, I told you guys last week how I took the session with Nicole Walters on the Living Your Some Days, right? And how it was really interesting how she was talking about the someday we will this and some, you know, and living through why do we always say someday instead of making our someday happen today? And it got me thinking also about what if, right? Someday we have these phrases we tell ourselves all the time. The someday I will make my dreams come true. Someday I will buy a house on the lake. Someday I will, and then we get caught up on these what ifs, right? So a lot of times we don't get to our someday because we're stuck in our what if. What if I do take that next step and purchase another center? And I'll tell you, I just purchased land to build another center and I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. In my mind, the first thing, and I am still, I'm not going to pretend like I'm not. I have a lot of fear behind it. I do have all the feelings behind it, right? It's like, what if it doesn't work? What if all this money I'm putting in, I lose it all? What if I can't hire enough staff? I think the biggest, most legitimate concern I have right now is our staffing issues that we're all facing nationwide. What if I can't staff the program? I'm about to build an entirely new center and I need to staff it, right? But I have to step back and tell myself, no, you cannot allow emotions and fear to make your decisions, right? I literally talk to myself in a way that I'm counseling. Like, you are allowing fear to rule your heart, your mind. You cannot live in that world of what if. Yes, these things happen, but did you know that 80% of things that we worry about actually never happen? Only 20% of what we worry about actually happens. How much of our lives do we allow to consume us with what ifs? What if I go on vacation and COVID strands me, right? Yes, a lot of people were stranded last week, the week before, because of the airline issues. But a lot of people weren't. The majority weren't, right? 90% of people were not stranded. Actually, it was like 95% of people. But all we hear about is that 5% who were, right? So we live in that world of what if. I cannot tell you guys how many people have shifted for my conference from coming here live to coming here virtually, or to going to virtual, because they're afraid of the what if, right? They're allowing what if to rule their life. So let's go through that scenario. What if it does happen? What if you get stranded in Reno? Will it matter a year from now, right? Will the experience of being live at the summit be worth being stranded for a couple days? Is it really going to make a difference in your life 1 year from now? Attending the summit absolutely will make a difference in your life 1 year from now, right? The knowledge you gain, that can change the course of your life. It can change the course of your center, which the course of your center will change the course of your life. But being stranded in Reno for a couple days, is it an inconvenience? Absolutely. Is it annoying? Absolutely. But a year from now, is it going to affect you? No, it's not. So allowing these decisions that you make revolve around what ifs is kind of, in the end, not serving you, right? As I was preparing this, it really got me thinking about how I'm actually living through a what if in my life, right? My entire adult life, I was married. And now, for the first time in my life, I am not. 29 years, I was married, and now I am not. And of course, through the life, as you guys know, my husband was sick for a very long time. But before he was sick, those fears would pop up, right? What if one of us dies? What if he dies? What if, well, I'm living that now, right? I'm actually living through a what if scenario. We all have these huge fears. What if we lose our business? What if my spouse dies? What if something happens to someone else who's very important to me, right? And eventually, we're all going to live through a what if. I'm just doing it somewhat young. And I can tell you guys that we have to choose. We have to make those decisions because I cannot control the situations in my life. I cannot control what life throws at me, but I can control how I'm going to respond and how I'm going to use the situation, right? I am creating my life story every single day, and I get to choose how I'm going to write that story. So all of what I've been through in the last 3 years, and I know I saw Alana, you're on here. Alana can tell you guys, I have changed a lot. I have changed a lot in the last 3 to 5 years because of everything that I've been through. And I've just realized at some point that I could no longer live through my what ifs. Let's see. Diane says she's going, yes, Diane's going to be at my summit. She's not letting the airline scare her. So, and you know what, you guys, fear is okay. We all have fear. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. We just can't allow that fear to control us. We can't allow the fear to make decisions for us. If you do, you will never grow. You will never get to that better, bigger version of who you are, right? It's interesting because I was actually talking to my business coach and my advisor about this when I was at her conference. She and I had a conversation. Week before last, I was at her conference, and I went there live and got to meet her and talk to her live. And we were talking about like fear and all the feelings. And that is one of the things that came up, is not allowing your feelings to rule your life. Because I keep having to tell myself over and over again, I get to choose where I am a year from now. And yes, I did have to pause my life for about 10 weeks. I did have to step back and pause and just kind of realign, rethink things, and figure out this new path, because I am living a what if. I am living through a what if. I am guiding my children through it. Every day I wake up and there's something new that I have to navigate right now. But I do get to choose how I come out a year from now. This is a what if that doesn't affect me for a year from now. Now, getting stranded in Reno a year from now may not affect your life, but I'm living a what if that is affecting the rest of my life, right? And every decision I make at this point, I cannot let that fear and the feelings that I have right now going into my life, I can't let that rule me. There's a lot of fear that I have. I try to be transparent with you guys. I know that my transparency, letting you guys see the struggle that I'm living through, will help you, right? And there's a lot of fear behind being a part, having a team, somebody who also brings in an income, having, your life goals aligned with somebody, and then losing that partner, right? And now it's just me. My children are both almost flown and grown. They both have plans on leaving. My sister just moved away, and my other sister's planning on moving away. And I know that I'm at a point in my life where it's just me. And there is a lot of fear that revolves around that, right? But it's also how I look at it. Is that fear, or can I get excited about it? Can I get excited about the potential that I can have, the potential that I can really fly with? So it's really on how I choose to look at it. And there are days, like yesterday, I'll tell you, it was a day where I have to really step back and tell myself to stop what thoughts are going through my head. I have to consciously control my thoughts, right? My sister actually moved away yesterday, and my family is extremely close. I was very, very close to my sister, and she's moving all across the country. So got to walk through her empty house yesterday, and that was the home that we spent Thanksgivings in. And it was very emotional for me to lose, and not that I'm losing her, but to see her go was very, very hard. And, my thoughts start going crazy. They do. They just start like, oh my gosh, everybody's leaving me. Everybody's leaving me. My husband's gone. My sister's gone. My boys are both planning on leaving. My other sister's talking about leaving in 2 years. I'm going to be alone. And I just, this panic starts to set in, right? But that's when I know I have to take control of my mindset and my thoughts. And I have to stop myself. And I literally say to myself, stop. That is not the story we're going to believe. That is not the story we're going to allow into our lives. We get to choose from here. And I have to change that narrative. And I have to look at things like, the whole world is ahead of me. I get to choose right now, right? I get to choose where I want to live. I get to choose how I want to live. I get to choose how much I want to work, how much I don't want to work. I could totally downgrade my life and stop working right now if I wanted to. And so it's really how I interpret things, right? And so that's something that I really want you guys to think about, is these what ifs paralyze us. And they make us feel like we are so stuck, but we're not. We're not, you guys. What if you do invest a little bit more in your center, right? What if you stop working 60-hour weeks? What if you stop working 50-hour weeks and you start delegating more? Is it scary? Yeah, I know it is. I know it is. But what else is very, very scary is not taking care of your health and well-being, right? That is very scary, is when you end up sick. And I can tell you firsthand, my husband did not take care of himself. It's the reason he is where what happened. He worked himself so much and he didn't take care of himself. So now as I look at life in retrospect, I have to ask, was it worth it? He was so consumed with what ifs, right? He was so afraid about our financial security. And I can tell you, it didn't matter how much money we made. It never mattered. It was never enough because of that what if tape playing through his head over and over and over, right? What if it's not enough? What if we lose everything? What if, right? And it's just not worth it, you guys. 80% of your what ifs never happen. They never come to fruition. And the 20% that do, we deal with them, right? We pick ourselves up and we get through. We pivot, we change our course, and we figure it out. So don't be afraid of that 20%. There's, I can't remember his name right now. There was a psychological study done on highly successful people and people who aren't, and people who have a high amount of happiness and people who don't. And one of the key things, there were several different components, and I'll have to put it in the chat when I remember who it is. I do want to reference and not steal somebody's idea. This is not my original. I did not do this study. I just studied the study. But basically, what he found was one of the key differences between people who are happy and have high life satisfaction and view themselves as successful, because remember, success is basically your interpretation, right? Your level, what you see as successful and what I see are probably two different things. But it's the fact that they have accepted the fact that life is hard, that there are obstacles and there are struggles, but that's okay because we get through it. 50% of life is hard, 50% of life is easy. There's the good and the bad. You've got 50% good, 50% bad. It's what we choose to focus on. And it's being okay with the fact that, yes, it's going to be hard, and that's okay. That is okay. Every time you decide to level up in the life, you are creating obstacles for yourself, and that is okay too, right? Embrace the obstacles, embrace the hard, and the what ifs won't be so scary anymore. They won't rule your life. So if you are working too much, if you're not financially secure in your center, it's probably because you're living in the world of what if, and you're afraid to take some kind of leap or make some kind of change, right? So ask yourself, what am I afraid of? For my members, schedule a time for us to talk about this. most of you still have time this month. Actually, a lot of you guys haven't scheduled your time with me. And definitely November is wide open for me right now. So schedule your time with, for our one-on-one calls in November so we can explore this if that resonated with you. If there was something that popped into your mind that you're allowing these what ifs rule your life, schedule a time so we can work through that. If you're not one of my members and you would like to work through that, schedule time. I could have my assistant Pam Wright just explain to you what my membership looks like, how we work through things like this. We are also going through a leadership series right now. I'm actually taking my members through the exact training program I put my managers through. They're live with me as I train my own directors and assistant directors. Since I'm opening 2 new centers, I'm elevating my management team that's currently, I'm actually personally training 3 sets of new management in my own centers, director and assistant directors. So any of my members are more than welcome to join that training every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you guys, let's see, I have a lot of things today. Let me look, I'm gonna grab my computer so I can see what you guys have to say in case I missed any. Let's see, listen to a song I listen each day. It's called I Want to Know. I like it. 5 more. Brady, even though even though it just says Facebook user, it doesn't show your name. I know that's you. That's Brandy. 5 more years. We're retiring in 5 years, which is. Okay, sorry guys, my computer is not very nice to me today. If you haven't bought your virtual ticket yet, you can go to childcarebusinesssummit.com. It's right there on the screen. Make sure you get your virtual ticket. You do that money. Again, are you living in those what ifs? Are you afraid to invest in the summit? Are you afraid to? I chose the speakers in the summit. I chose the tracks that are coming to make sure we are elevating your center in 2 days. I am giving you guys the tools that you need, right? I am bringing it to you. What you choose to do with it is up to you. But honestly, the virtual track is only $197. That is really a steal. It is a steal for what I'm providing you with. I've got Beth Cannon, Scott Wayman, Prainer Richards, Tracy Gale, Christy Mailer, so many amazing speakers coming to you that are actually adding value, right, to your life and to your center. I have a lawyer, an accountant, tax preparer. Well, the accountant is a tax preparer. I have business gurus basically who are telling you their secrets, right? And on my old computer, it's kind of funny. That's where I had my work, that my notes and everything got lost, and I was rewriting my scripts over the weekend, and I was like, wow, I'm actually like giving away my secret formula here to my success in my speeches. So in the talks that I'm doing, that's interesting in my sessions. So please, if you haven't yet, if you are struggling, like have any questions about the summit, just send me an email. Let me put my stuff on the screen there. There's my email address, evelyn@childcarebusinessprofessionals.com. We are happy to answer questions for you. I just really want to make sure. And that is what I'm here with, to change 1,000 centers in the United States so that we can affect as many children as we possibly can. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and I cannot wait to see you guys at the summit.